Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm glad that you're here with me today. So, I'm Grace of Stella Maris Readings, and as we're celebrating Women's History Month, I have been able to bring all these wonderful women together because they're very awe-inspiring in many different areas of life. But as we are closing up this wonderful celebration as we celebrate Women's History Month and all the wonderful women, I would like to bring to you an amazing woman that has so many different just layers, different layers, and so many different just strengths. And I can't wait to share her with you. And it's always a pleasure to sit with her and talk to her and pick her brain of how do you do it all? Because she does it all. And I mean all. So, yes, please, for the people that follow me, who are you? Introduce yourself, because I know many people know you, but maybe on my side, this is a different area, but introduce yourself, please.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Theresa Roemer. Some people call me iconic. I think I'm a legend in my own mind. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love, love, love to work. I can't get enough of it. I've been working since I was a little tiny girl. And now that I'm in my 60s, I'm still rocking and rolling and don't see an end in sight. I am a mentor. I have an online community called the Next Level Vault, where I mentor and coach people to bring them up to their next level in life. We just got done having a level up workshop in the all famous, world's famous closet with 100 people. Was very inspiring. Had 7 other speakers besides myself. Just came out with a new book, or was part of a new book called Entrepreneur Secrets. I'm one of 25 people that have a chapter in that book. We became international bestsellers. Took it in 5 different categories in the United States and 4 different categories in Europe. I'm a mom. I'm a grandmom of 11. An amazing wife to my husband of 20 years. And I don't know. I'm just
Okay.
I wear many, many hats. I'm also a real estate agent and I flip houses, and I'm a social media influencer, have been for over 20 years. And so I don't know. I wear a lot of hats.
I just have one major question before we start myself. When
Yeah.
do you sleep? When do you sleep?
But that's an amazing question because I get a good 7 hours of sleep every night. I'm usually in bed by midnight and I'm up and rocking and rolling by 7 a.m. saying my prayers and giving my gratitude and starting my day. But I sleep. I'm a good sleeper. I don't have a problem sleeping. When I hit that bed, I'm out.
I have a feeling you're working even while you're sleeping. In your dreams, you're working because you just wake up nice and fresh and you're tackling days and just so many things. And I'm just in awe as always.
Thank you.
So my question to you is, anytime that you reflect on this amazing journey, what stands out to you the most as far as you've come? Because it's extensive.
Yeah, I would have to say the one thing that stands out the most for me would be resilience. I think resilience. It's not just about how far I've come. It's about who I've become along the way. Every setback, every no was just it challenged my mental strength. Whether it was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro or whether it's struggling to be the best athlete I could be, to it's just every no has given me strength. Some people are like, if they get told no, they're like, okay, and no to me was like a challenge. It's like no, and I'm like, really? You're gonna tell me no? Okay, well, we'll see.
Wow. That's amazing. And in that, there's got to be an aspect within you that doesn't take no for an answer. And as people may say no, or things feel like a challenge, what is it inside that for you? Do you feel it's a spark, or is it what is it exactly that really pushes you?
I don't know. I mean, I've evolved from simply just surviving to creating something meaningful. Today I'm not just building a life, I'm building a legacy. I wake up every morning and I say, God, thank you for letting me be here again today. What can I do for you? How can I not let this day go to a waste? You know, um, But yeah, from a young age, when I was told no for many, many things, that just set me on the path of no was a challenge. It was never, no was never no. No was like, let me show you.
That's an extraordinary, just positive attitude to have. And you're really following that path of my authenticity, my identity, my very divineness to be here.
Hmm.
And I think that a lot of people shouldn't embrace that and incorporate their divineness of just being here and being whatever challenge is there. It's a matter of the process of growing and really finding your inner strength. So I think you're very divine, just being able to be born that way. And some people have to practice to be that way or try to learn that way. It seems that from a very young age, you were just born in that way to just be you. And that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Now, as we're looking back, what was the first thing that inspired you to pursue these paths? What was the defining moment where you knew this was your calling?
I think my early years of fitness taught me discipline,
Mhm.
taught me confidence, taught me consistency. Um, I felt like if fitness taught me that if I could master my body and my mind, I could master anything in the world. Because mastering your body and your mind takes a lot.
Yeah.
So when I look at somebody with a fit body, I look at them and I go, they have discipline. I mean, like I have the utmost respect for that because that's the one thing that a lot of people cannot tackle and cannot succeed at winning at because they just feel like, oh, if I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
But having a fit body and a fit mind takes a lot of discipline. And if you can have discipline with that, you can have discipline in business and in life.
Yes, those are that's a major challenge for a huge majority of us.
Hmm.
And even myself, that's a major challenge. And like I said, you were a part of the inspiration. A good portion of that inspiration is I would watch you and say, how does she do this? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a formula. And you are an inspiration for me. And it's been a process for me, like a year and a half to try to get here. And every time I would look at it, say that was something that got me going. So thank you, Teresa.
You are so welcome.
What internal mindset shifts help you to evolve into the leader you are today? Those mind shifts, what are they?
I think when I learned to shift from victimhood to being a victor,
Mhm.
that's instead of saying, why is this happening to me? I started saying, how is this happening to me? There must be a reason this is happening to me. So you can look at the negative side of things and say, oh, woe's me. Why is this happening to me? And look at the negative all the time. But you could also flip around and say, there's got to be a reason this is happening to me. There's a lesson to be learned from it. So my whole thing is to go from victim to victor
Mhm.
because we're all victims. Every single one of them. I don't know anybody, I've never come across anyone in life that's not a victim of something. And you can sit there and waller around and say, poor me, pity me, whatever, victim, 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 whether it's somebody fighting cancer, somebody's lost a loved one, whatever, or you can be a victor and say, hey, stuff happens to everybody. Stuff's happening to every single one of us. You can walk across the street and something's happened to that person. You can talk to your neighbor and something's happened to that person. Like everyone's going through something. And you can succumb to it and become a victim, or you can rise above and become a victor.
Wow. And it seems like you kind of welcome challenges.
Oh
It
yeah.
You welcome the challenges instead
Oh
of like
yeah.
some of us shy away from the challenge, like, I don't need that. I don't want that.
Right.
Some of us
Right.
say, okay, bring
Right.
it on. Let's see what I can do.
Right. 20 years ago, I lost my son in a car crash, and there was a woman that came up to me in the church and she said, he's in such a better place. When I lost, and she's talking about her daughter. She said, when I lost my daughter, I rejoiced that she was with our Heavenly Father. And I just kept looking at this woman thinking, how can she be so happy? She's lost a child now. I've lost a child. I just felt the pain that I was in at the time and thought, there's no way I will ever be in that place where that woman is right now. But I am
Well,
because I learned that things happen to every single one of us. and you can let it define you and you can go down that deep, dark rabbit hole and stay there. Or you can say, no, no, there's a purpose for everything that's happened. I may not understand what that purpose is until I'm up there too,
Yeah,
but there's a purpose for everything that happens in life.
that's true. Very, very true. And I share that sentiment in that sense because, as we get older, wisdom and experience really teaches you to be able to see that. When you're younger, it's a little difficult because you're
Mhm.
fresh in you. But as you start moving through life, you can really embrace that and really see the lessons behind them, and that actually fortify you to get even further into your life. And I think that's where your fearlessness comes from. It's like, that didn't break me. And
Mhm.
that's really tough. That's something that's horrible. And if it didn't break me, I feel that there isn't anything else that can. And
Right,
that gives you that chutzpah to continue to power on. And
right.
you've built a lot of powerful businesses and a
Mhm.
strong personal brand. What does success truly mean to you at this stage in your life?
To me, success means freedom. It means controlling my time and my choices.
Beautiful. I
And
think
I
that's a
love
dream.
that.
That's a big
I
dream for many.
I love that. It's
That's
about doing the work that lights me up. I always say, if you do what you're passionate about, it never feels like you're working
absolutely.
because you're just having so much fun because you're so passionate about it. But for me, success just means freedom. It's like I'm in control of my time, what I want to do, when I want to do it. And that I mean, like, some people say, "Oh, what's it mean to be so successful and have so much money or whatever?" And I just say it's freedom.
Freedom.
It's freedom.
And when you do your own things, it's almost like the freedom to choose how you're going to set your day. What are your important priorities? What is that you want to tackle first? And like you said, passion and love of what you do. You don't look at the clock. You don't, oh, but it's so it's 5 o'clock. I'm just getting started. I'm
I'm
just
still
getting
working.
to work, just getting started. And that's a beautiful way of looking at freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom is being able to choose and make your time. And I think that also helps in your health life because if you're feeling good, there's nothing to like your stomach, everything kind of just flows with it. You're not fighting any kind of internal parts of yourself to stop yourself and to feel that heaviness.
Right,
So
right. I mean,
that keeps you beautiful. It
yeah,
keeps
I
you
mean,
beautiful.
I feel that true success is holistic.
Yeah,
It's health, it's peace, it's relationships, and it's purpose.
awesome. Beautiful. You were mentioning that you are now, in this beautiful Entrepreneur Secrets, this beautiful book, and you have a chapter in it. And so I don't know, for me, you're now like you're getting into the industry also of publishing, of not publishing, but writing. So I know that possibly there's going to be more writing in your future. Wouldn't even doubt that because if you're in that, I know that you're going to say, you know what, I'm just going to write a book. That's what I need. I think that's something I just feel psychically, spiritually, that's something that may be coming up for you.
Well, a lot of people don't even realize this is the fourth book.
Okay.
So did the first book, Nude, Unveiling Your Inner Beauty and Sensuality, did that in 2010. 2015 did two books. The first book was Naked in 30 Days, where I actually stood naked in Times Square at the age of 50. And then the second book that year was Scoring with Santa, which is part of my real life.
Oh my God.
And now this one in 2026. So this is actually the fourth one. And then I have another one that's in the process of being done right now about my life. Yeah. So
This,
when this book opportunity came along, the gentleman Peter Remington, who I've worked with for years and years and years, almost 20 years, he said, I have this idea of this book, and I want to pull together about 24, 25 entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, and I want you all to share your secrets of how you've gotten to be so successful. And so he gave each one of us a chapter, and we wrote away and got it all done and everything. And the funny thing is we couldn't wait for it to come out because none of us knew what was in the other person's chapters. We didn't know anybody else's stories. Like I know the other people, quite a few of the other people I know, so I know I've seen them in their success, but none of us got to read each other's chapters until the book got published. And so it's kind of fun now to go back and read everybody's stories and whatnot. It's fun.
And it's interesting that it's an international bestseller.
Mhm.
And as a bestseller, you being part of this wonderful project, what is it with your messages? What impact? What is it that you're hoping to leave your readers as they read the things that you have had to share with us? What would you like to leave them with?
Well, they always want to know, how did you become successful? And so, I tell my story of it starting back from when I was a small child. I can remember the first time as a little girl that grew up on a ranch and we had to have chores. I can remember the very first time I asked my mother if someone else could milk the cows because I was vomiting and sick.
Mm.
And she said, well, if somebody else does your chores, you have to do someone else's chores, regardless of your sickness. And I was like, but I'm sick. And she's like, so what? The animals don't care. Who's going to take care of the animals if you don't take care of the animals? And so I had to go do it, even though I was sick. And I was so mad at her. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then years later, after we sold the ranch and moved to the city, and I got a newspaper route, and it had snowed like 2 feet one night. And I, at 4 in the morning, went in and said, Mom, I can't ride my bicycle to deliver newspapers. Can you take me in the car? And she's like, no, I didn't sign up for that job. Figure it out.
That's a strong mom. So you
So I
have,
had to walk the route,
yeah.
which made me late for school, and everything else. But I was so mad at her, and deep down in, was like frustrated with her and almost hated her, and I was like, why are you doing this to me? Like other people's parents would do this.
Yeah.
And it didn't dawn on me until later on in life that she was teaching me my work ethic.
Very
Because
powerful.
to this day, it doesn't matter what comes my way, I still do my job. I don't take the day off. I don't say, oh, I don't feel good, I'm not going to do it. And that's where my followers and my audience are so, I guess, mystified with me, is because I'm always consistent. I just do it. I just do it. They're like, wow, you've been on YouTube since 2010 and you've never missed a day of posting.
It's
You post 3 days a week on Instagram. You never miss a day. Like every Monday night, I do my coaching calls in the vault, and I never miss it. Like people are like, "Don't you just want to take the day off?" And I'm like, no, this is what I promised to give you. So regardless of what comes my way, I'm going to follow through with my promise. And so I clearly think back at when my mother was teaching me those lessons. I didn't realize they were lessons at the time, but she was actually teaching me my work ethic.
and consistency,
Mhm.
powerful work ethic and consistency. Um, being featured in a magazine cover is such a milestone. That's a big deal. What did that moment represent to you, both personally and professionally? 'Cause that is a big deal to actually see yourself that everybody's looking at, and you're like, that's me.
And I guess for the normal person, that probably is jaw dropping or something.
Yeah.
But I guess I've been featured on so many magazine covers my whole life, whether it was in my bodybuilding years or my Mrs. Texas years or now whatever. I'm just like, oh, another cover.
But you haven't missed a beat. The thing is here, even though you've been on so many magazine covers and you've been in the public eye, it's like it doesn't end. You continually keep that spot. You're fresh. And this is like when I was talking to you earlier, it's like every time I sit with you, every time we see each other, you are stronger, you are fresher. There's always a uniqueness to you, and it's a constant evolution. And for me, I think that's awe-inspiring. And I've never left, not seeing you, not following you, because you know how to reinvent and create and expand. And I think that's a marvelous thing. I think it's very powerful. And, many actors and actresses and people and personalities have their time. They have their time and then they kind of walk away and they're done.
Right.
You haven't done that. You have, like a chameleon in time, have changed. And instead of you see less of, or there's a change, I see you stronger. I see you more powerful, more vital. It's almost like energetically, it's like I've always, compared you as a freight train. And literally, I don't find you as a freight train. You are a jet. You are one of those Concorde, those red eyes. It just the speed in which you do it, and you don't miss a beat. And I think that's extraordinary.
Well, I think this time when I was recognized in the Global Business Magazine, I think professionally it was global validation of
Hmm.
my work. And it showed me that I'm not just a personality, I'm a serious business leader. And I'm a true believer in reinventing yourself. Like every couple years, I feel like in order to stay relevant, you have to reinvent yourself. You have to come up with something different, you know. And people are like, well, when is it ever going to be enough? When is it ever going to be enough, Teresa? Because it seems like something's missing in your life and you're just chasing after something. And I'm like, no, I'm looking at life like this is my one and only chance here. I want to do everything I could possibly do while I'm here. Because we've discussed this before. This is not a dress rehearsal. We don't get to like have fun and then go, well, I'll do it next time I'm here.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. So that's why I wake up every day and say, thank you, God, for letting my eyes open again. What else can I do for you today? I'm not going to let the grass grow under my feet. I'm going to do as much as I can possibly do in one day because tomorrow's not promised.
And that is a fact. You know, that's very interesting what you had mentioned when people said to you, Teresa, when is enough enough? When is it just enough? There's something missing. That's looking at it in a very negative way. That's negative
Mhm.
thought.
Yeah,
Your thought is positive to say, I am blessed with so many gifts and talents that it is unlimited.
I need to
I have
share.
to be godlike in the sense of tapping into every little gift that God has given me because
Mhm.
this life isn't enough to actually fill the talents and the graces that God, the blessings that God gives us. So while I'm here,
Mhm.
I'm going to make the most of it and work and get to know who I am energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally as a human being before that time goes there.
Because
Because
actually what happens is every year or two or whatever, something else reveals itself. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know I was capable of that too. Woo! And I get excited and that's probably where the energy comes from because I'm like, wow, God just revealed that there's something else in me that I still need to share with people. And so it's not, I don't feel that there's a sense of something missing in me, like there's something I'm still chasing after. It's like I'm trying to tap into every single blessing that God put in me that hasn't even revealed itself yet.
absolutely. I truly, truly, you and I share that, and it's an epiphany that you reveal that. And that as we're talking, it's that realization that that's negative thinking. And this is the key to your success is your positivity. And these are
Mhm.
the challenges that you meet and the shortness of what people may say, that this is where they're limited. This is that box. You're outside of that box.
Mhm.
And again, it's an epiphany, and I think that this will be resonate with a lot of people, but also it can teach a lot of people not to stay in there and to kind of go out of that box and see the depth of their existence that is
Mhm.
so vast. This is the thing. We're taught that we're just this, and not that we
Mhm.
can do it all because we can.
Yeah, I can remember being a little girl and watching people that, and I'm just going to use this as an example, watching someone say that worked for the government for 40 years and he was so miserable and he couldn't wait till retirement because he was sick of his job and he just wanted to retire. And I as a little girl, I used to look at him and go, so why did you stay at a job that you hate? Why didn't you do something different? Why didn't you do something fun? Why are you wasting away at just being miserable? Like it didn't make sense to me. It was
Yeah.
like there's more to life than just putting yourself in this little box and staying in it and being miserable and then retiring and dying. You
Yeah.
know? I to this day I still don't understand it. I'm like it baffles me. We all have that choice to wake up every day and make choices and make decisions and better your life. And if you're unhappy, do something about it because no one else can fix it but you.
I agree with you 100 billionth percent. And that's the thing. It's like we go to school, we're taught to learn one thing. That doesn't mean you stay there.
Mm-mm.
That
Mm.
means that all it means is that you have discipline to kind of stay and finish. That's the discipline that you're learning. And with everything, it's whatever you desire and whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, and then finding into those talents. And you have not allowed anything to block you. Okay, you got into the fitness world. Okay, besides that, that has branches and trees that you can expand and to grow on. And
Mhm.
from there, it's like stepping stones, and it just
Yeah,
brings you into a new
yeah,
vibration and into a new
right,
vibration, and you
right.
being able to just pick up on and say, I did that, I proved to myself that I have the discipline. Now it's like it's an open season to create and manifest and do whatever my heart at that moment is in that fluctuation, it is in that energy to be able to capture and go with it and run with it.
Right, because if somebody would have told me when I was in my 20s or 30s and I was huge into the fitness world that I would be writing books someday, I would have laughed at them. I would have like, there's no way I'm capable of that. No. But I didn't say that. I was just like, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I'm capable of doing it, but I could give it a try. And I think that's the difference between an entrepreneur and a worker bee. Because I believe there's two people in life. There's worker bees, which we have to have, and
Mhm.
then there's entrepreneurs. The worker bee likes stability, like the person that wants to work for the government for 40 some years. They just like that, the stability, the paycheck every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then there's the entrepreneur that's willing to jump off of cliffs and lose it all and fail. And it just doesn't matter. They're just like, they love the challenge. It's like, I'll try it. What do I got to lose? Okay, I'll just try it. I mean, like there's just a different mindset when it comes to entrepreneurship.
And I even think that losses are gains as well. In
Huge.
losing, there are
Because
gains.
because when you lose, when you fail, it's not just a failure, it's a lesson. You come out of that failure learning something and you're like, whoa, okay. Now, failure means when you keep doing it and you keep failing and then
Repeat.
that's failure. But when you normally when if you look at any successful person in life, when they have failed at something, they learned from it and they changed it and they went after it again and then they succeeded or they failed again. But every successful person you read about or talk to has had failures in their life, but it never stopped them.
And I also think that's rerouting. It's rerouting you.
It's
For
called pivoting. It's called
yes,
pivoting.
pivoting. Thank you.
Yeah. You have to pivot.
And that's excellent because I feel that you just get another vision of it, another aspect of it, and learning in a different way that strengthens some things that you need to strengthen, some things that you need to really learn to really tap even to more of your depth of your person and
But
your
do you know that every single parent, especially mothers,
Mhm.
but every single parent in this world is an entrepreneur and doesn't even know it? Because being a parent is in a sense, being an entrepreneur. Because when something happens to your child and you have to pivot and fix it and make it all better, that's what business is like. When something happens in your business and you have to stop it and pivot and make it better and
Yeah,
be
resolution.
successful. And to me, parenthood is the same way, especially motherhood. Mothers are constantly pivoting and fixing and making sure the household runs right and everything. That is a form of entrepreneurship, whether they realize it or not.
I agree, absolutely. And yeah, so they put like motherhood being women's work, and if for a lot of housewives that stay home, they're not always given the credit of the value that they bring and the expertise that they acquire as they are resolving issues coming in. A baby crying, what's wrong with it? Oh, I got to take it to the doctor. All the things because as a mom, I remember, having 5 children going through all of this learning so much in the medical field that when I would go to the hospital, something, well, the temperature's this. I gave her a cold compress. I did this. I did and by the time it was like, are you a nurse? I was like, no, you should go to medical school because I already knew she needs a prophylactic, she needs an amoxicillin, and I already had that roster. I have a
Right.
medical degree by then,
Yeah.
but it's extraordinary that, it's always undervalued and not seen at the abilities that they have. Money ability, business ability is required. They're trying to figure out how am I going to make this dollar stretch, as well
Project manager.
as that's
Project
right,
manager. No,
medicine,
you're
medical,
right.
all the
So,
things. Yeah.
yeah. So, as a mother, you are constantly wearing many different hats, the
Mhm.
same as an entrepreneur does, but you
Yes.
don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I'm just a stay-at-home mom. No, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. You show everything.
You're juggling 20 different jobs and wearing that many different hats, and you're solving all the problems, and you're managing the household, which is a project manager, you
Yeah.
know. And like you said, you're a
Absolutely.
nurse, you're a teacher, yeah. So
Teacher,
whether
confirm
women
everything.
realize it or not, whether mothers know it or not, they are true entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And
Uh,
there's not always a handbook.
correct. And it's
I
only
mean,
that quick.
back in the day when you and I were mothers to begin with, I mean, there are more books out there about motherhood now, but back in the day, I was like, is there a manual? What do I do with
Absolutely.
this baby? It's got a stomach ache. I don't know. I mean, like now motherhood, you've got internet, you
Yeah.
know. Back when we started being mothers, there was no internet. There was no nothing, and I was just like, well, thank God we had mothers and grandmothers that could help teach us. But, now mothers just run to the internet and figure it out. But yeah.
Good source. Um, in the spirit of Women's History Month, what does it mean to you to be a woman leading, building, and inspiring today's world?
Well, to me, it means being an example.
Mhm.
It means showing women that they don't have to shrink or wait for permission. Like it's all about building a community, not competing for space. I believe in creating bigger tables so that more women can rise together.
Powerful. You answer my questions before I ask them. And it's like it leads one into the other. And your presence, my next question was, how do you hope your work and presence impact the next generation of women in business and leadership? I think that with everything that you have taught, spoken today, this afternoon, it leads into by example. I want to show that it can be done,
Yeah.
that there's no limits, that you don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to do this. You don't have to wait. You just be you and embrace life fully 100% and be what you were divinely created to be, a source of pure love and light and happiness and joy, success, whatever your heart is telling you to be.
I just want to normalize ambition. I want women to feel proud of wanting more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. I want them to understand that they can have it all. Not kind of or maybe or but you can really have it all.
Mhm.
You can have family, you can have business, you can have health, you can have purpose. You can have it all.
You don't have to choose
I
one.
want my legacy to show women that they can take up space boldly and lead with courage. Point blank.
And you're doing a marvelous job and you look good and you as you're doing it. Oh my God, Teresa, you are inspiring. And as we're looking ahead, what exciting projects and ventures and goals are you currently working on that we should all be waiting for and be excited about?
Well, I think I just told you that we just, a couple days ago had the Level Up Mastermind workshop in the world's largest closet. People were like, why are you having it in the closet? And I'm like, because years ago I created that closet as a venue. I wanted that closet to be the closet that continually gives back. And
Mhm.
that's why I have the events in the closet, because the events are in there to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And that's that's the space everybody wants to be in anyway, so why not have the events in there, right?
Yeah,
But I'm just trying to help people learn how they can level up in life, and whether it's personal or business, it doesn't matter. And in my community, the next level vault, my online community, that's what we do. We level up. If I could show you how people were years ago when we started the vault to where they are now, you would go, that's not the same person. And I'm like, It's the same person, but they're not the same person. They have grown exponentially. And people are always like, why do you feel like people have to grow? And I'm like, why wouldn't you want to grow? Why would you want to be the person you were 20 years ago? Why would you want to be the person you were 5 years ago? People should constantly be wanting to grow, grow, grow. There's nothing wrong with growth. It's kind of like with the big AI thing right now, right?
Yeah.
People are like, oh my God, I don't want to learn it. It's like, okay, well, years ago when the internet first came out, was it 1999? I can't remember when I got my first AOL account. I think it was 1999. I was like, oh my God, I have to learn. And I remember this so vaguely. I was a sophomore in high school and I had to take a typing class, right? And I said to the teacher, I don't ever want to be a secretary. Why do I have to take typing? And I hated it. I was so mad. Why do I? Little did I know, years later, the internet would come out and we'd have keyboards. And now I'm like, oh my God, this is the same keyboard I hated when I was a sophomore in high school. How did they know I was going to need to learn the keyboard, right? And it's kind of like this. So you got to grow. You've got to keep learning. You can't get left behind. It's like the train is leaving.
Yeah.
Are you going to be on it? Cell phones came out. People hated learning. I can remember my grandparents hating to have to learn the cell phone
Yeah.
and and remember when we had flip phones and then we got Blackberries and then we had the iPhone. I mean, like, you just have to constantly be evolving and learning and growing. I mean, AI's here. They say that in the next 5 years, we're going to have more technology shoved down our throats than we've ever seen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So you're either going to be sitting on the curb
Yeah.
or you're going to grow and you're going to stay up with time.
Yeah. It's like everything in life always a constant. That's one thing for sure, that there's constant change always.
Always,
That's
always.
nothing that's going to change. It's not going to change. It's not going to stop. That's the evolution of life. And like you said, we all have to move with it, or else we're going to stay lonely, alone, and bored out of our minds if we don't.
Well, right. And the problem is people fear change,
Yeah.
fear of the unknown. It's huge, the fear of the unknown. But you can either accept fear and challenge it and go on board with it, or be left on the dock. Like I said, I mean, like, life is changing and you can either be a part of it or not. But I've never known life to not change. Like, life is evolving every single day and you can either stay up with it or you just get left in the dirt, I mean, like, and you can't be scared. What's there to be scared about? Life is life. Like, it's going to happen whether you're on board or not.
Well, fear is just like I feel, like they talk about evil and darkness. I think that fear is it's almost like an infestation. Fear really blocks you from finding your light, from finding beyond that that wall, because it keeps you. It's almost like it's a prison. Fear
Mhm.
keeps you in a prison. And
Mhm.
it's almost like you say, fearlessness. You only have this one life. What are we going to be sitting there in fear? You either go all the way and meet success and all. You don't, I feel that you miss a lot by sitting back and just being in that state of fear.
And I don't want to be that person that's sitting there on my deathbed saying, I wished I would have.
Yes.
Why didn't I? Why was I so scared? What was my problem?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on my deathbed going, I did it all. I might have succeeded at some things. I might have failed at some things, but I did it all. I have no regrets. I'm ready.
And that's what makes you like extraordinary. And I feel like I just had a master class. I just had a master class. And I feel continue to do this because I do think that I need this. We all need this. And even though I'm very big into manifesting and creating, and I feel the same way. I have that same feeling and belief that you have, because I went through a time where I wasn't walking, and there were times that I had these major challenges, and it's like either I sit here and just fall apart and continue to be decrepit, or this is my one time. I
Yeah.
don't know how much I have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to get up. I'm going to walk again and do all the things that I need to do and live it up. This is my best life. Make it my best life.
Yeah.
And dancing, and I I do my full moon dances, I do my new moon dances, and
Yes.
people are like, wait a minute, didn't you say you were like in a wheelchair for like 6 months? How is it that you're dancing? And even my doctor's like, you have to be careful. I said, be careful for what? I'm,
Yeah.
dancing with the universe. I'm going to do it until I can't no more.
Yep.
And I continue to do it. And thank you for being an inspiration because in the times that we've had conversations, you do have that, you got to continue, you got to go move forward. And you have been part of, even though this is what I do, you have inspired me to
Right.
continue
Right.
moving forward. I lost 100 pounds,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you look fantastic. I'm
Thank you.
like,
Thank you.
you look better than you've ever looked also. I'm so proud of
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. And thank you. And I'd like to say to everyone, thank you for joining us today. It's been such a great pleasure to sit with the remarkable, iconic Theresa Roemer. And I can't wait to continue to see what else you're gonna do. It's like you go from one thing, one blockbuster to the next, and it's incredible. And I'm just gonna say this. The pictures from your event that you went to Philip Line, OMG.
Yeah.
Like this lady, it's like there's no turning you off. Remarkable. I'm going to just say that it's always just wonderful to tune into you and to watch you. And I love you. You're one of my favorite people. I love you. I love
Love
you
you.
very, very much.
Love you too. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. You look better than you've ever looked. You're just glowing. You're just
Yeah.
glowing. You look so good. So thank you for allowing me to do this again this year.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
And I would like to ask you, how can people find you and your books, and where can they get to know you even more?
Well, you can go to my website, theresaroemer.com, which is, the links to get the book are on there. You can find everything about me. You can find about Next Level Vault, our online community where I mentor you and coach you. You can find me on Instagram at teresa.roemer. I'm on Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. YouTube, Teresa
Everywhere.
Roemer, everywhere, everywhere.
All right. Well, continue to keep gracing us, continue to keep inspiring us. And again, I'm very proud to know you, and I'm very just inspired by you. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. God
Lots
bless.
of love and kisses. God bless you always. All right.